For 8 decades, the legendary troubadour, Bob Dylan, has touched the hearts of millions worldwide through his music. Yet, his life has been marked by significant hardships and losses that have left deep scars on his soul and saddened countless fans. This artist, known for his raw, emotional storytelling, has faced more than his fair share of personal struggles. Join us now in exploring the deeply human side of this musical icon, whose experiences remind us all of the power of resilience in the face of adversity. Bob Dylan's relationship with Echo Hellstrom, his high school girlfriend, played a significant role in shaping his musical interests. Together, they would listen to rhythm and blues on distant highway radio stations, broadening both their tastes in music. But it wasn't just her company he enjoyed. Hellstrom's family also had a profound influence on him. They exposed him to various singers and provided him access to valuable folk music resources, further fueling his passion for music. This early exposure to different genres has led some to speculate that Hellstrom might have served as the muse behind one of Dylan's most famous songs, Girl from the North Country. While this theory remains unproven, there is no denying that their relationship left an indelible mark on the budding musician. Despite being young, their connection deeply impacted Dylan's creative process during these formative years. Throughout his career, Dylan remained private about his personal affairs. Consequently, much about his romantic relationships remained shrouded in mystery. Yet, the time spent with Hellstrom seems to have laid the groundwork for what would become a lifelong pursuit of artistic expression influenced by diverse musical styles. Suze Rotolo, a significant figure in the life of the music artist Bob Dylan, met him while he was still striving to make a name for himself. She became his first serious relationship, which greatly influenced his early love songs. One of his most popular tracks, Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, is said to have been inspired by their time together. A striking snapshot of Rotolo and Dylan walking arm in arm appears on the cover of his second studio album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, released in 1963. This iconic image captures a pivotal moment during the budding stages of the music artist's career. Sadly, their relationship came to an end in 1964, but it left an indelible mark on both Dylan's personal journey and musical oeuvre. Despite being relatively unknown outside of her connection to the legendary music artist, Rotolo played a vital role in shaping some of his unforgettable tunes, immortalizing their bond through music that continues to resonate even today. In the early 1960s, a significant romantic and musical relationship blossomed between Bob Dylan, the rising music artist, and Joan Baez, who was already crowned as the Queen of Folk. Their creative partnership took off when they performed together at the Newport Folk Festival in 1963, enchanting audiences with their harmonious duets. This collaborative pair became an iconic symbol of the 60s folk scene. The two artists met backstage at the Newport Folk Festival in 1961 and instantly connected through their shared passion for traditional folk songs. Over the next few years, their friendship deepened, evolving into a romantic relationship that would influence both their personal lives and professional careers. Performing alongside each other became a regular occurrence for Dylan and Baez during those times. At the 1963 Newport Folk Festival, they captivated the crowd with several duets, including a memorable rendition of With God on Our Side. These performances further solidified their status as prominent figures within the growing American folk movement. However, as the mid-60s approached, changes were underway. By 1965, the couple's romantic bond had begun to dissolve, which can be traced in D.A. Pennebaker's documentary Don't Look Back, where tensions arise between them. Despite this shift in their personal life, their commitment to creating music together remained strong. Throughout the subsequent decades, Dylan and Baez intermittently reunited for joint appearances and recordings. For instance, they shared the stage at the 1975 yearly Kennedy Center tribute to Martin Luther King Jr., reminding everyone of their undying connection despite the passage of time. To this day, their influential collaboration continues to resonate among fans and musicians alike. Even though their romantic journey has come to an end, the lasting impact of their combined artistry still echoes within the annals of music history. Their story serves as a testament to how artistic bonds can transcend personal relationships, while leaving behind legacies that continue to inspire future generations. In 1965, the music artist Bob Dylan tied the knot with Sarah Lowndes. Their union brought forth 4 children: Jesse, Anna, Samuel, and Jacob Dylan. Prior to their marriage, Sarah was already a mother to Maria, who Dylan went on to adopt. Sarah even made an appearance in the musician's film Ronaldo and Clara, which further highlights her significance during his creative period. However, after more than a decade of marriage, they decided to part ways and finalize their divorce in 1977. Despite their separation, it remains undeniable that Sarah played a crucial role in both the personal life and career of this classic musician. Throughout those years, she supported him through various shows and witnessed firsthand the evolution of one of America's most treasured artists. And while their relationship ultimately came to an end, its impact continues to resonate among fans and enthusiasts alike. After all, marriages, families, and relationships often intertwine with the lives and careers of many musicians, and Bob Dylan's story proves no exception. In the mid-1980s, the personal life of the renowned music artist Bob Dylan took a significant turn. At this time, he tied the knot with his backup singer, Carolyn Dennis. This union was kept under wraps and remained a carefully guarded secret until the release of Howard Sounds' biography in 2001. Together, the couple welcomed a baby girl into their lives, whom they named Desiree Gabrielle Dennis Dylan in 1986. However, their marital bond did not last, and they decided to part ways in 1992. Despite their separation, their shared history remains an intriguing aspect of the music artist's rich and multifaceted personal journey. Bob Dylan, the celebrated music artist, enjoys spending time away from the spotlight at his primary residence in Point Dume, Malibu, California. This picturesque promontory boasts breathtaking coastal views, rugged cliffs, and pristine beaches, offering a serene escape from the hustle and bustle of touring. Situated along the coastline, Point Dume provides a tranquil environment where the music artist can unwind and find inspiration for his future musical endeavors. With its unparalleled natural beauty and peaceful ambience, it's no wonder why this exclusive location attracts those who seek solace amid spectacular scenery. Dylan's choice of residency highlights his appreciation for the harmonious blend of nature and artistic expression. By residing in Point Dume when not on tour, he embraces the opportunity to connect with the community and engage in creative pursuits while surrounded by the area's captivating landscape. Beyond his residential home in Point Dume, Malibu, the music artist Bob Dylan has established a reputation as a savvy property owner with diverse holdings across the globe. His decision to invest in real estate in multiple locations indicates a thoughtful financial strategy, perhaps aimed at both supporting his international lifestyle and ensuring a stable economic future. The fact that Dylan owns properties in various parts of the world speaks to his appreciation for different cultures and environments. By investing in these distinct locales, he demonstrates a willingness to embrace diversity and explore new horizons. At the same time, his varied real estate portfolio allows him to maintain connections with familiar places, fostering a sense of continuity despite his extensive travels. One can only imagine the unique inspirations Dylan draws from each location, which may seep into his creative process and influence his iconic sound. From the picturesque coastline of Point Dume to faraway landscapes steeped in rich cultural traditions, these settings likely offer endless possibilities for reflection and introspection. As a seasoned musician with a career spanning several decades, Dylan has undoubtedly amassed considerable wealth throughout his journey. Wisely utilizing his resources to acquire properties in diverse regions serves as a testament to his business acumen and foresight. Rather than resting on his laurels, he continues to make strategic moves designed to safeguard his interests while also indulging his wanderlust. Ultimately, Bob Dylan's global real estate ventures reveal yet another facet of his multi-talented persona, one characterized by curiosity, adaptability, and shrewd decision-making abilities. With each acquisition, he weaves together an intricate tapestry of experiences and influences, further enriching his life and artistic legacy. And so, even as he expands his physical footprint through property ownership, he remains true to his eternal spirit, constantly evolving, seeking out new challenges, and leaving an indelible mark on the world. Bob Dylan is widely recognized for his exceptional musical talent and distinctive voice. But the music artist is also known for his ever-evolving religious beliefs and spiritual journey. This aspect of Dylan's life has been just as dynamic as his music career. Growing up, Dylan had a Jewish upbringing. However, his faith evolved over time, taking him through different religious explorations. In the late 1970s, he went through a period of Christian conversion, releasing 3 albums deeply rooted in gospel music. These works reflected his strong belief in Christianity during that phase of his life. Later, Dylan moved away from organized religion towards a more eclectic and personal spiritual outlook. he began incorporating elements of Buddhism, Judaism, and Christianity into his songs. Rather than adhering strictly to one doctrine, he embraced a broader perspective that allowed him to draw upon various philosophies and teachings. Despite these changes, certain themes remained consistent throughout Dylan's work. For instance, many of his lyrics touch upon moral dilemmas, redemption, and social justice, issues that transcend specific religions but are fundamental to most spiritual traditions. Thus, while Bob Dylan's religious beliefs have indeed undergone significant transformations over the years, they continue to influence his artistry profoundly. Whether it's through his early Jewish roots, his later Christian phase, or his current eclectic approach, Dylan's spiritual quest resonates powerfully in his music, offering listeners glimpses into his inner world and inviting them to embark on their own journeys of discovery. Born and raised in a small, tight-knit Jewish community in Hibbing, Minnesota, the music artist Bob Dylan marked a significant milestone in his adolescent years as he celebrated his bar mitzvah in May 1954. This event served as a testament to his upbringing and connections with his Jewish roots. As he approached his 30s, the music artist's spiritual journey took an unexpected turn. In 1971, while visiting Israel, Dylan found himself meeting Rabbi Meir Kahane, the founder of the Jewish Defense League, a radical Jewish organization. This encounter sparked curiosity and further exploration into his faith. However, it wasn't until the late 1970s that the music artist experienced a profound change in his religious views when he decided to convert to Christianity. Guided by his friend Mary Alice Artis, he delved deeper into the teachings of the Vineyard School of Discipleship. These experiences left indelible imprints on both his personal life and musical career. In the late 1970s, the music artist Bob Dylan experienced a significant transformation in his personal and spiritual life. During this period, pastors from the Vineyard Church, including Ken Gullickson, began to regularly visit Dylan at his home. These religious figures provided guidance and support to the musician during a time of introspection and change. Eventually, Dylan decided to embrace Christianity fully and accepted Jesus Christ into his life. Following his conversion, Dylan became deeply involved in the teachings and practices of the Vineyard Church. He started attending Bible study classes held by the congregation in Reseda, California, between January and March of 1979. Through these courses, Dylan further developed his knowledge of Christianity and strengthened his faith. This immersion in Christian doctrine would later influence much of his music and public persona throughout the next few years. By the early 1980s, Bob Dylan had become known for his exploration of Christianity in his music. His album Slow Train Coming, released in 1979, marked a noticeable shift towards gospel and religious themes. However, by 1984, the music artist began to distance himself from the Born Again label that had been attached to him by the media. Dylan clarified that he had never used the term born again to describe his spiritual journey. Instead, he preferred to express his belief in a higher power and the notion that there is more to existence than what can be seen with the naked eye. This more individualized and nuanced perspective on faith seemed to reflect a move away from organized religion and towards a more intimate and introspective spirituality. Despite his distancing from the Born Again label, Dylan continued to incorporate spiritual and philosophical themes into his music. His lyrics often touched on big questions about the meaning of life, the nature of good and evil, and the human condition. But rather than offering easy answers or promoting a particular doctrine, the music artist seemed to encourage listeners to explore these ideas for themselves and come to their own conclusions. Overall, Bob Dylan's evolution as a musical artist has been shaped by many factors, including his personal beliefs and experiences. While he may have distanced himself from the Born Again label, his commitment to exploring deep and meaningful topics remains a defining characteristic of his work. Whether through his powerful vocals or thought-provoking lyrics, the music artist continues to inspire and challenge audiences around the world. In 1997, the renowned music artist Bob Dylan offered insight into his views on religion and spirituality during an interview with Newsweek. Rather than finding solace in traditional religious practices, Dylan confessed to discovering religiosity and philosophy through his music. This classic artist believes that his songwriting serves as a deeply personal form of religious expression. Two of Dylan's compositions, Let Me Rest on a Peaceful Mountain and I Saw the Light, encapsulate his unique relationship with faith. These pieces serve as testaments to his individual spiritual journey, resonating with listeners who may share similar experiences. By weaving together threads of belief and doubt, Dylan crafts an intriguing tapestry of musical exploration that transcends conventional boundaries. Delving further into his creative process, Dylan explained that he doesn't feel compelled to adhere to specific doctrines or creeds. Instead, he finds himself drawn to universal themes present across various religions and philosophies. Through this lens, one can better understand how the music artist manages to captivate audiences, while simultaneously challenging their preconceived notions about spirituality and its role in art. When questioned about whether his work has ever been explicitly influenced by certain religious texts or teachings, Dylan remained coy. However, it's evident that his songs often contain veiled references to biblical stories and moral lessons. As such, these subtle allusions invite fans to embark on their own quest for meaning and understanding, both within themselves and through the power of music. As time goes on, the impact of Bob Dylan's contributions to the interplay between music and religion continues to reverberate throughout culture and society. His willingness to explore complex themes and challenge societal norms has left an indelible mark on countless lives, serving as a reminder of the transformative potential inherent in artistic expression. And so, even as decades pass since those initial revelatory interviews, the echoes of Dylan's wisdom continue to resound, inviting us all to step inward and consider the profound connections between sound, spirit, and human experience. Bob Dylan, despite his shifting beliefs, has consistently maintained connections with his Jewish heritage. This renowned music artist was born to a Jewish family and raised in the traditions of the faith. As he grew and explored various spiritual paths, his connection to his roots remained strong. One notable example of this can be seen in his support for the Chabad Lubavitch movement. This branch of Hasidic Judaism emphasizes traditional practices and outreach to Jews around the world. In keeping with these values, Dylan has privately participated in Jewish religious events, including attending services and supporting educational institutions. His dedication to his faith became particularly apparent during his son's bar mitzvah ceremony. A key milestone in the life of a young Jewish man, the bar mitzvah marks the point at which a boy takes on certain responsibilities and privileges within the community. By participating in this event, Dylan demonstrated his commitment to preserving and passing down the traditions of his ancestors. Furthermore, the musician served at Hadar HaTorah, a Chabad Lubavitch yeshiva located in Brooklyn, New York. Yeshivas are schools where students study Torah, Talmud, and other Jewish texts in depth. Serving at Hadar HaTorah allowed Dylan to deepen his own understanding of his faith, while also contributing to the education and development of future generations of Jewish leaders. Dylan's involvement with the Chabad Lubavitch movement extended beyond personal participation in religious events and service. In fact, he made public appearances in support of the organization, lending his voice and platform to their efforts. For instance, he appeared on the Chabad Telethon in both 1989 and 1991, sharing his talents and inspiring others to get involved in the work being done by the group. Throughout his career and personal life, Bob Dylan has shown that maintaining connections with one's cultural and religious background is possible, even amidst exploration and growth. His story serves as a testament to the importance of tradition and the power of individual engagement in communal activities. Throughout his career, Bob Dylan has often incorporated gospel music into his performances and recordings. This can be traced back to the late 1970s and early 1980s, when he released a series of albums known as his gospel period. These records, which include Slow Train Coming, Saved, and Shot of Love, feature powerful gospel songs infused with Dylan's unique blend of folk, rock, and blues. Despite moving on to other styles and genres over the years, the music artist has never completely abandoned his interest in gospel music. In fact, throughout his live shows, Dylan continues to perform songs from these beloved albums. His fans have come to anticipate and cherish these moments, knowing they will be treated to stirring renditions of classics like I Believe in You and Precious Angel. Occasionally, Dylan even covers traditional religious songs, giving them a fresh interpretation through his distinctive voice and delivery. Through these performances, he demonstrates both his deep respect for the hymns and spirituals of old, while also making them accessible to newer generations. Moreover, the music artist has been known to make occasional references to his religious faith during interviews and public appearances. For instance, he has spoken openly about his belief in a higher power, emphasizing its importance in guiding one's moral compass. Similarly, he has touched upon themes of accountability and personal responsibility, suggesting that each person must ultimately answer to themselves, or to God, when it comes to matters of honesty and integrity. These statements reveal just how deeply ingrained religion remains in Dylan's life and work. Even after decades spent exploring various musical avenues, his connection to gospel music persists, enriching both his artistry and his legacy. And so, every time he takes the stage or steps into the studio, audiences remain eager to see where this lasting passion might lead him next. In a recent interview with the Wall Street Journal, the music artist Bob Dylan revealed more about his intriguing religious outlook. Known for his cryptic lyrics and enigmatic persona, it comes as no surprise that Dylan's spiritual beliefs are equally multifaceted. When asked about his religious practices, Dylan shared that he regularly engages in activities such as reading scriptures, meditation, prayer, and lighting candles in churches. These actions suggest a deep reverence for faith and tradition, reflecting a profound connection to spirituality. Delving further into specific concepts, Dylan expressed belief in ideas like damnation, salvation, and predestination. His understanding of these themes likely informs his artistic expression, providing rich material for exploration through songwriting. Drawing inspiration from diverse religious texts, Dylan finds wisdom in sources ranging from the 5 books of Moses to the Pauline epistles. This broad spectrum of influence speaks to the depth and breadth of his curiosity and knowledge. Moreover, he occasionally invokes saints, suggesting a respect for holy figures beyond his own faith tradition. This latest insight into Dylan's spiritual life offers yet another layer of complexity to the legendary musician's already fascinating public image. As fans continue to uncover new dimensions of his artistry, one thing remains clear: Bob Dylan's impact extends far beyond mere entertainment, leaving an indelible mark on our collective cultural consciousness. And who knows what other surprises await as we delve deeper into the mind of this timeless musical icon. Born Robert Allen Zimmerman on May 24, 1941, in St. Mary's Hospital in Duluth, Minnesota, the future music legend would spend his formative years in Hibbing, a small town nestled on the Mesabi Range to the west of Lake Superior. Growing up in a middle-class family, he was exposed to a variety of musical influences, including folk, country, and rock and roll. These early experiences would eventually shape the sound and style that made him one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. As a young man, he became deeply involved in the local music scene and began performing under the name Bob Dylan, paying homage to the Welsh poet Dylan Thomas. This change of identity marked the start of a remarkable journey in the world of music. Born Robert Allen Zimmerman, the music artist now known as Bob Dylan comes from a family with a rich and varied heritage. On his father's side, Dylan's grandparents, Anna Kurd and Zygmunt Zimmerman, were Jewish immigrants who left Odessa in the Russian Empire following the violent pogroms of 1905. After making their way to the United States, they settled in Duluth, Minnesota, where Zygmunt worked as a skilled tradesman in the iron ore industry. Meanwhile, Dylan's maternal grandparents, Florence and Ben Stone, also Jewish, had emigrated from Lithuania in 1902. Like many other immigrants of their time, they sought better opportunities and freedom from religious persecution in America. Eventually, they too found themselves in Duluth, where they became part of a thriving community of Eastern European Jewish immigrants. It was in this culturally diverse environment that Dylan's parents, Abram Zimmerman and Beatrice Beatty Stone, grew up and eventually met. They married in 1934 and raised their family in Hibbing, Minnesota, a small town located several hours northwest of Duluth. Here, Dylan's father followed in his own father's footsteps by working in the iron mines, while Beatty stayed home to care for their children, including young Bobby, who would later adopt the stage name Bob Dylan. Despite coming from humble beginnings, Dylan's family instilled in him a deep appreciation for music, poetry, and social justice, themes that would become central to his groundbreaking musical career. Today, the music artist remains revered not just for his immense talent, but also for his ability to capture the spirit of his generation through unforgettable songs like Blowin' in the Wind, The Times They Are A-Changin', and Like a Rolling Stone. Born Robert Allen Zimmerman, the music artist now known as Bob Dylan comes from a family deeply rooted in a close-knit Jewish community. His parents, Abram Zimmerman and Beatrice Beatty Stone, were active members of this community. When Dylan was just 6 years old, his father's health took a turn for the worse. He had contracted polio, As a result, the family relocated to Hibbing so that Abram could receive proper medical care. Once settled in Hibbing, Dylan's family opened a furniture and appliance store. This business was not only a source of income for the Zimmermans, but also served as a gathering place for the local community. Both Abram and Dylan's paternal uncles played significant roles in managing the day-to-day operations of the store. Despite the challenges posed by his illness, Abram remained dedicated to providing for his family and contributing to the success of their small business. As Dylan grew up surrounded by the bustle of the family store, he began to develop a deep appreciation for music. He spent hours listening to records and teaching himself how to play various musical instruments. Eventually, this passion would lead him to pursue a career as a musician, leaving behind the world of furniture sales and appliance repair. But despite his departure from the family business, the values instilled in him during those early years, hard work, dedication, and a commitment to community, continued to shape his identity as an artist and public figure. As a young boy growing up in Hibbing, Minnesota, the music artist Bob Dylan developed a strong appreciation for music through the radio. At first, he was drawn to blues and country music stations broadcasting from Shreveport, Louisiana. These musical genres would have a profound influence on shaping his future artistic direction. As he entered his teenage years, his interests began to evolve. This was when he discovered rock and roll, which further fueled his passion for music. His love for these various styles of tunes laid the foundation for what would eventually become his own unique sound. Listening to different kinds of music during his formative years allowed him to explore diverse sonic landscapes before settling into his signature style. All it took was a few dials on the radio for Bob Dylan to find inspiration that changed the course of popular music forever. From those initial sparks of curiosity grew one of America's most influential singer-songwriters. As he attended Hibbing High School, the music artist formed several bands that helped shape his early years. One of these bands was called the Golden Chords, where they played lively covers of popular songs by Little Richard and Elvis Presley. Their performance of Danny and the Juniors' Rock and Roll Is Here to Stay at a high school talent show became quite memorable. The energy of their rendition was so loud that the principal had to cut the microphone, showcasing both their enthusiasm and the growing excitement around rock music in that era. This experience would lay the groundwork for the artist's future musical journey, highlighting his early connection to the rock and roll movement. In the high school yearbook of 1959, under Robert Zimmerman's picture, one could find the aspiration to join Little Richard. Indeed, it seemed that this young man had set his sights on the world of rock and roll. But soon after his graduation, his path would take a different turn. September 1959 marked the beginning of a new chapter in Zimmerman's life, when he relocated to Minneapolis and started attending the University of Minnesota. Initially, he remained true to his teenage dream, focusing on rock and roll. However, something began to shift. His interest gradually turned towards a distinctly American genre, folk music. This change laid the foundation for the transformation of Robert Zimmerman into the legendary figure we now know as Bob Dylan. This evolution didn't happen overnight. Attending college exposed him to various cultural influences and broadened his horizons beyond just rock and roll. He discovered artists like Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger, who deeply influenced his songwriting style and political views. Through them, he learned how powerful music can be in conveying messages and influencing society. Thus, during his time at the university, Bob Dylan was born, leaving behind the identity of Robert Zimmerman. In a 1985 interview, Bob Dylan discussed his transition into folk music, highlighting its capacity for profound and contemplative subjects. Unlike other genres, folk music offered the musician greater freedom to explore complex emotions and experiences through songwriting. With roots deeply entrenched in tradition, folklore, and storytelling, it became a natural fit for Dylan, who sought to convey tales of desperation, melancholy, victory, spirituality, and human connection. The genre provided him with fertile ground for introspection and reflection, enabling Dylan to craft poignant narratives resonating with listeners even today. He recognized how traditional tunes could seamlessly blend historical events, social commentary, and emotional depth while capturing universal truths about humanity. By embracing folk music, the artist delved deep into the rich tapestry of human experience, connecting people across cultures and generations. As he immersed himself in this musical style, Dylan found inspiration in fellow musicians dedicated to preserving and evolving folk traditions. Artists like Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, and Joan Baez influenced his work significantly during these formative years, shaping both his lyrical content and performance styles. Inspired by their dedication to activism and advocacy, Dylan began incorporating political messages into his own compositions, ultimately solidifying his role as one of the most influential figures in modern American music. Throughout his illustrious career, the music artist has continued to push boundaries, experimenting with various sounds and styles while staying true to his folk origins. His ability to adapt and innovate speaks volumes about the power and versatility inherent in folk music itself, a testament to its resilience and relevance throughout time. Even now, after decades spent creating iconic records and cementing his place in history, Bob Dylan remains committed to sharing meaningful stories through music, inspiring future generations of artists and fans alike. And so, the legacy of this transformational period lives on, enriching our collective understanding of what music can truly achieve when wielded as a tool for change and self-discovery. In the early 1960s, the music artist Bob Dylan found himself living in Minneapolis, residing at the Sigma Alpha Mu fraternity house. This house was known for its significant Jewish presence, and it was here where Dylan's musical journey truly began to take shape. Not far from the university campus, Dylan started performing at a popular local coffee house called the 10 O'Clock Scholar. During this time, he became deeply involved in the thriving Dinkytown folk music scene. Surrounded by like-minded musicians and artists, Dylan honed his craft and developed his unique sound. The vibrant energy of the Dinkytown scene proved to be incredibly inspiring for the young music artist. As he continued to perform and collaborate with other musicians, Dylan's talent and passion for music grew stronger. His experiences during this period would ultimately help shape his future and cement his place in music history. During a significant period in his life, the individual now known as Bob Dylan went through a transformation that would impact his career and legacy. Initially, he had been named Robert Allen Zimmerman, but he decided to adopt a new identity that aligned more closely with his artistic aspirations. He first contemplated changing his last name to Dylan, inspired by the actor Matt Dillon. However, fate intervened when he stumbled upon the poetry of Dylan Thomas, which resonated deeply with him. Consequently, he made the decision to honor the Welsh poet by adopting the surname Dylan instead. This shift marked the beginning of a new chapter in his journey towards becoming one of the most influential music artists of all time. When asked about his name change years later, Dylan simply stated, "You're born. The wrong names, wrong parents, you call yourself what you want to call yourself. This is the land of the free." His words reflect the spirit of reinvention and self-expression that characterized his early career. The choice of Dylan proved serendipitous, as it perfectly encapsulated the depth and complexity of the artistry that lay ahead for this transformative figure in American music. Through his powerful lyrics and evocative melodies, he would go on to captivate audiences worldwide and etch an indelible mark on popular culture. And so, under his chosen moniker, Bob Dylan embarked on a remarkable path that continues to inspire generations of musicians and fans alike. In the spring of 1960, a young man named Bob Dylan made a life-changing choice. After completing his first year of college, he decided to drop out, marking the start of his journey toward musical greatness. As winter arrived in January 1961, the aspiring artist set off on a crucial voyage to New York City for two reasons: to share his talents and to meet his musical hero, Woody Guthrie. Unfortunately, Guthrie's health had significantly deteriorated due to Huntington's disease, forcing him into Greystone Park Psychiatric Hospital. Despite this disappointment, the music artist found inspiration in Guthrie's earlier works, which deeply influenced his initial performances. He even acknowledged Guthrie as the true voice of the American spirit. Dylan's admiration for Guthrie ran deep, shaping both his artistic perspective and performance style during those formative years. Through Guthrie's legacy, the music artist discovered an authentic way to express himself while connecting with audiences across generations. This transformative trip to New York City served as a stepping stone in Bob Dylan's illustrious career, forever tying his name to the rich tapestry of American music history. In the early 1960s, the aspiring music artist Bob Dylan arrived in New York City, determined to become the greatest disciple of folk legend Woody Guthrie. He sought out Guthrie, visiting him frequently in the hospital where he was being treated for Huntington's disease. These visits provided Dylan with a valuable education in traditional American folk music. But Dylan's connections to New York ran deeper than just Guthrie. He also formed a close friendship with Ramblin' Jack Elliott, another musician, and one of Guthrie's most devoted followers. Like Dylan, Elliott had traveled to New York to learn from Guthrie and carry on his musical legacy. Through Elliott, Dylan gained even more exposure to the rich tapestry of American folk music. Elliott became something of a mentor to Dylan, teaching him songs and introducing him to other musicians in the vibrant New York folk scene. Together, they explored Greenwich Village, attending shows and soaking up the sights and sounds of the city. For Dylan, these experiences were formative, shaping his musical style and influencing his approach to songwriting. Throughout his career, Dylan has continued to draw inspiration from the New York connections he made during those early years. His music remains deeply rooted in the traditions of American folk, country, and blues, styles that were passed down to him by Guthrie and Elliott. And while he may have left New York behind physically, its influence continues to resonate throughout his work. Furthermore, this period in New York marked a crucial turning point in the music artist's career. From February 1961, he began performing in clubs around Greenwich Village. Immersing himself in the folk music scene, he learned from and befriended fellow folk singers. Notable figures like Dave Van Ronk and Fred Neil influenced him greatly. He also connected with Odetta, a powerful presence in the genre, and the New Lost City Ramblers, who helped shape his understanding of traditional folk music. Additionally, the music artist found inspiration from Irish musicians such as the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Makem. These relationships and experiences enriched his music and laid the foundation for his future success. In 1961, the young music artist Bob Dylan began his journey in the world of music, performing at various clubs and venues. That same year, he made an appearance at Gerda's Folk City, where his talents did not go unnoticed. The New York Times critic, Robert Shelton, was present at the show and was greatly impressed by what he saw. He went on to write a rave review of Dylan's performance, describing him as a distinctive folk song stylist. This glowing review proved to be pivotal for the music artist's budding career, providing much-needed exposure and recognition. The positive feedback from critics like Shelton helped establish Dylan as a rising talent in the folk scene and set the stage for his future successes in the industry. This critical acclaim came early in Dylan's career, setting a high standard for his work and solidifying his place as a notable figure in the annals of American music. As time went on, Dylan would continue to push boundaries and explore different styles and sounds, but it was this initial burst of critical praise that provided the foundation for his lasting legacy in the world of music. Not many know that around the same time when Bob Dylan was gaining recognition as a budding musician, his harmonica skills also started creating ripples in the music scene. So proficient were his harmonica playing abilities that they drew the attention of none other than renowned folk singer Carolyn Hester. She was so impressed by Dylan's talent that she invited him to play the instrument on her third album. This invitation served as a golden ticket for the young music artist, providing him with an unparalleled opportunity to share his talents with a wider audience. Little did he know then that this chance encounter would introduce him to another pivotal figure in his career, legendary record producer John Hammond. Impressed by what he heard, Hammond promptly offered Dylan a contract with Columbia Records, one of the most prestigious labels in the industry, and thus began the music artist's journey towards becoming one of the greatest musicians of all time, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire generations even today. All thanks to his remarkable harmonica skills, which had set things in motion. In early 1962, a young music artist by the name of Bob Dylan released his self-titled debut album. This initial offering from the musician featured a blend of various genres, including traditional folk, blues, and gospel tunes. Notably, out of the 11 tracks included on the album, only 2 were original compositions, the rest being covers of songs previously recorded by other artists. Despite the limited number of original pieces, this debut album served as a crucial launching pad for the music artist's career. However, it did not immediately achieve commercial success. In fact, during its first year after release, less than 5,000 copies were sold. Nevertheless, the significance of this record lies in providing the music artist with a platform upon which he would build his musical legacy. Throughout his career, the music artist has demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt and evolve across different styles while maintaining a unique voice and perspective. His journey began here, taking those first steps towards becoming one of the most influential musicians in American history. Furthermore, in August 1962, pivotal changes unfolded in the life of the music artist. He officially changed his name to Bob Dylan and entered into a management contract with Albert Grossman, who guided his career until 1970. This phase was characterized by tension between Grossman and John Hammond. Amidst this backdrop, a suggestion arose for Dylan to collaborate with Tom Wilson, a young African-American jazz producer. Wilson went on to produce several tracks for Dylan's second album, doing so without formal credit, which laid the groundwork for a fruitful partnership. During this transformative time, the artist traveled to the United Kingdom from December 1962 to January 1963. He had received an invitation to appear in a BBC television drama directed by Philip Seville. This experience not only showcased his talents, but also expanded his reach in the music scene. As he performed and engaged with different audiences, the music artist began to solidify his place in the cultural landscape, setting the stage for the impact he would have in the years to come. In 1963, during the final act of a groundbreaking play, the music artist Bob Dylan took to the stage and performed "Blowin' in the Wind." At the time, few knew they were witnessing the debut performance of this future classic. Prior to this moment, Dylan had been touring London, frequenting local folk clubs, and soaking up the musical styles of British performers. One notable influence was Martin Carthy, a prominent figure in the UK folk scene. Through these experiences, Dylan expanded his repertoire and honed his craft, laying the foundation for the creation of timeless songs like "Blowin' in the Wind." As he delved deeper into the vibrant London music scene, the music artist absorbed a wealth of knowledge and inspiration from his contemporaries. This exposure to diverse artistic perspectives allowed him to develop his unique voice and further refine his artistry. By stepping into different cultural landscapes, Dylan was able to push the boundaries of traditional folk music and create something truly original. Throughout his career, the music artist has remained committed to exploring new creative avenues while staying true to his roots. With each album and live performance, he continues to captivate audiences around the globe, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of music history. And it all began with a young man named Bob Dylan performing "Blowin' in the Wind" for the very first time. The power of that single performance still resonates today, reminding us all of the transformative potential of music and its ability to transcend borders. In 1963, the music artist Bob Dylan released his second studio album, The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. This album significantly cemented his status as a gifted singer-songwriter, marking a turning point in his career. Notably, it featured several powerful protest songs inspired by fellow musicians Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger, who were known for their commitment to creating topical music. These socially conscious compositions addressed various issues prevalent during that time, including civil rights and political unrest. Through his poignant lyrics and distinctive vocal style, the music artist conveyed a sense of urgency and emotional depth that resonated with many listeners. His ability to articulate complex ideas into relatable terms helped garner widespread attention and critical acclaim. One standout track from the album is "Blowin' in the Wind," which quickly became an anthem of the anti-war movement. Its haunting melody and probing questions prompted listeners to reflect upon the ongoing struggle for peace and equality. Another notable song is "Masters of War," a scathing indictment of the military-industrial complex and its perpetuation of violence. Overall, the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan served as a platform for the music artist to express his views on contemporary social issues, while continuing to hone his craft as a skilled storyteller. As a result, this classic album remains influential among aspiring musicians and fans alike, standing testament to Bob Dylan's lasting impact on folk and popular music genres. Even today, these protest songs continue to echo, reminding us of our shared responsibility to strive for positive change. In December 1962, a groundbreaking event occurred in the music industry when the up-and-coming artist, Bob Dylan, released his debut single, "Mixed Up Confusion." This release showcased the musician's innovative spirit, as it explored uncharted territory by blending elements of rockabilly into his unique sound. Clearly, Dylan was determined to challenge conventional norms and expand the horizons of contemporary music from the get-go. Just months later, in May 1963, another significant aspect of Dylan's career came to light: his commitment to political activism. As preparations were underway for his appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, the television network's executives raised concerns over one of Dylan's songs, titled "Talkin' John Birch Paranoid Blues." They feared its content might lead to accusations of libel against the conservative John Birch Society. To circumvent potential controversy, they requested modifications to the lyrics or suggested replacing the song altogether. However, the resolute young artist chose to take a stand for creative freedom rather than comply with these demands. Instead of acquiescing to the censorship request, Dylan decided to withdraw from the scheduled performance on The Ed Sullivan Show entirely. His defiant move sent shockwaves through both the entertainment and political worlds. By taking this stance, Dylan demonstrated that he prioritized artistic integrity above commercial success, and established himself as an influential figure who wasn't afraid to confront societal issues head-on. Thus, even at such an early stage in his illustrious career, Bob Dylan had already begun solidifying his status as a trailblazer unafraid to test limits and inspire change. Moreover, both Dylan and Joan Baez emerged as key voices in the civil rights movement. They performed together at the March on Washington on August 28, 1963, a pivotal event in American history. The music artist's third album, The Times They Are A-Changin', marked a significant shift as he began to address social and political issues directly. This classic included powerful tracks such as Only a Pawn in Their Game, which told the story of civil rights leader Medgar Evers and his tragic murder. Another poignant song on the album, The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll, recounted the death of a black hotel barmaid at the hands of a young white man named William Zanzinger, highlighting racial injustice. Through these songs, the music artist not only raised awareness, but also called for change, making the album a notable reflection of the civil rights era. In his album, the music artist explores the theme of despair through poignant depictions of hardship in rural communities. Two standout tracks, Ballad of Hollis Brown and North Country Blues, shine a light on the desperation faced by farmers and miners. The former tells the harrowing tale of a South Dakota farmer driven to murder his family due to poverty and crop failure, while the latter portrays the struggles of a Minnesota miner's wife after her husband's death in a mining accident. These songs serve as stark reminders of the human cost of economic decline and social inequality. Amidst these heavy political themes, the music artist also includes two deeply personal love songs, Boots of Spanish Leather and One Too Many Mornings. In Boots of Spanish Leather, he expresses sorrow over a failed relationship and regret at being unable to offer his lover what she truly desires, love and companionship. Meanwhile, One Too Many Mornings finds the music artist reflecting on a past romance that has run its course, acknowledging that it's time to move on despite lingering feelings. Both songs reveal the music artist's ability to convey raw emotion and vulnerability, making them timeless classics in their own right. In the mid-1960s, a young Bob Dylan made a striking impression during a media appearance in London. A local reporter, amused by his unique style, described the musician's appearance as having hair that could set the teeth of a comb on edge, and donning a loud shirt that would dim the neon lights of Leicester Square. This vivid description painted a picture of an artist unafraid to stand out from the crowd. The music artist started engaging in lively discussions with interviewers, further highlighting his distinct personality. His conversational demeanor revealed a quick wit and eagerness to share his thoughts on various topics beyond music. These animated interactions hinted at the depth of character behind the man who wrote songs like Blowin' in the Wind and The Times They Are A-Changin'. As time went on, it became clearer that these early impressions were merely glimpses into what made Bob Dylan so captivating. Throughout his career, he continued to surprise audiences with transformative changes in sound and genre while remaining true to himself, always unpredictably compelling. In the late 1960s, the music artist Bob Dylan made an intriguing appearance on the Les Crane television show. During the interview, he hinted at working on a unique project, a cowboy horror movie. When questioned if he would be playing the lead role of the cowboy, the music artist replied with his signature humor, stating, "No, I play my mother." This unexpected revelation left audiences entertained and eager to learn more about this unconventional film. Unfortunately, details regarding its production and release remain scarce, making it one of the enigmas surrounding the prolific artist's career. Despite this, fans continue to cherish Bob Dylan's eclectic mix of musical talent and comedic charm, which has solidified his place as a timeless figure in American music and pop culture. Will we ever see this mysterious cowboy horror movie? Only time will tell. Until then, listeners can enjoy the extensive discography and captivating performances of this classic musician. In March 1965, the music artist Bob Dylan released the album Bringing It All Back Home. This release marked yet another significant shift in Dylan's musical style. Up until this point, he had been known for his traditional folk sound. However, with Bringing It All Back Home, Dylan introduced a new element to his music: electric instruments. This change was prompted by the guidance of Tom Wilson, who served as the producer for the album. Under Wilson's direction, Dylan recorded some of his most iconic tracks, including Subterranean Homesick Blues and Maggie's Farm. These songs featured driving guitar riffs and upbeat rhythms, departing dramatically from the stripped-down acoustic sound that Dylan had become famous for. The introduction of electric instruments was a bold move for Dylan, and it sparked controversy among some of his fans. Some felt betrayed by what they saw as a sellout to commercial interests. Others, however, embraced the new sound and hailed it as a sign of Dylan's artistic evolution. Regardless of how one feels about Dylan's decision to go electric, there is no denying its significance. With Bringing It All Back Home, Dylan helped pave the way for a whole new generation of musicians who would embrace rock and roll and push the boundaries of popular music. Today, the album stands as a testament to Dylan's willingness to take risks and challenge conventions, cementing his place as one of the all-time greats. In 1965, the music artist Bob Dylan released a groundbreaking double LP. This monumental work featured something unique. One side presented listeners with electric instrumentation, while the other half showcased solely acoustic sounds. Such division had never been attempted before, making this album a true innovation in its time. The record's first single, titled Subterranean Homesick Blues, became an instant hit. Interestingly, it took heavy inspiration from Chuck Berry's Too Much Monkey Business. However, what truly set this song apart were its distinctly original lyrics. They exhibited a freedom of association, echoing the rhythms and styles often found in beat poetry. Some critics have even gone so far as to claim that these lyricisms served as a precursor to both rap and hip-hop genres. One notable aspect of Subterranean Homesick Blues lies in its lyrical delivery. Instead of adhering to traditional verse-chorus structures, the words flow freely, mirroring conversational speech patterns. There's an urgency here, a sense of stream-of-consciousness narrative that keeps listeners engaged from start to finish. In the late 1960s, an innovative music video was crafted for one of the songs by the renowned music artist, Bob Dylan. This visual piece introduced a unique concept where Dylan held up large cue cards, displaying key words from the lyrics of his song. It is said that this inventive idea came directly from Dylan himself. His groundbreaking approach has since been replicated in numerous music videos and commercial ads alike. The unforgettable imagery of Dylan holding up these cue cards added a distinctive layer to his performance, enhancing viewer engagement and interpretation of his thought-provoking compositions. By presenting select words in this manner, he allowed audiences to connect more deeply with both the rhythm and meaning behind his artistry. This creative strategy became synonymous with the music artist, setting him apart from other musicians during that era. Decades later, it remains memorable and influential, inspiring future generations of artists who appreciate its simplicity and effectiveness. Indeed, this classic example underscores how artistic expression can transcend traditional formats when an artist steps outside conventional boundaries. Moreover, the second side of Bringing It All Back Home saw a return to the artist's acoustic roots with 4 long songs. He accompanied himself on acoustic guitar and harmonica, showcasing his storytelling ability. In the summer of 1965, he headlined the Newport Folk Festival, an event that folk music enthusiasts eagerly anticipated. This performance became a pivotal moment in his career as he delivered his first electric set since high school. The audience was stunned as he was backed by a group that included Mike Bloomfield on guitar and Al Kooper on organ. This shift in style marked a significant change in his musical direction and left a lasting impression on the folk music scene. The performance stirred emotions and sparked conversations about the future of folk music and its evolution. Many fans realized that the music artist was transitioning into a new phase, blending electric sounds with his folk roots, which would influence countless musicians in the years to come. In 1965, the music artist Bob Dylan made an appearance at the Newport Folk Festival, marking his 3rd visit after previous shows in 1963 and 1964. However, this particular performance received a mixed reception from the audience, consisting of both cheers and boos. Various reasons have been suggested for these contrasting reactions. Some people believe that the primary cause of the negative response was Dylan choosing to play an electric guitar during his set, which diverged from the traditional acoustic style typically associated with folk music. This sudden change might have alienated some hardcore folk fans who appreciated the genre's purity and simplicity. They may have viewed Dylan's decision as a betrayal, thus prompting them to express their dissatisfaction through booing. On the other hand, another account attributes the hostile reaction to technical issues rather than musical preferences. According to this perspective, the sound quality during Dylan's performance was subpar, making it difficult for the audience to fully enjoy the show. Moreover, the length of his set was relatively brief compared to those of other artists, further fueling disappointment among concertgoers. Despite the conflicting explanations surrounding the mixed responses to Bob Dylan's 1965 Newport Folk Festival appearance, one thing remains clear: the event left a lasting impact on the music industry and continues to be discussed among fans and critics alike. In the summer of 1965, something extraordinary happened at the Newport Folk Festival. The music artist Bob Dylan took to the stage and performed an electrifying set, much to the surprise and shock of the crowd. This marked a turning point in his career as he began to incorporate rock elements into his traditional folk sound. However, this move was met with resistance from certain quarters, particularly within the established folk community. Ewan MacColl, a respected figure in the folk scene, expressed his disapproval in the September edition of Sing Out magazine. He lambasted Dylan's departure from pure folk music, dismissively referring to it as 10th-rate drivel, and chastising those who embraced this change as an uncritical audience. Such criticism reflected the strong sentiments held by some members of the folk fraternity who felt betrayed by Dylan's decision to abandon what they considered authentic folk music for commercial pop sounds. Despite the backlash, Dylan remained undeterred, continuing to push boundaries and challenge conventions throughout his illustrious career. His groundbreaking approach left an indelible impact on both the folk genre and popular culture as a whole, forever changing the way we perceive and appreciate music. Yet, even amidst all these changes, one cannot forget how his actions sparked heated debates among fans and peers alike, underscoring the profound influence and divisive nature of artistic evolution. In the aftermath of his electric performance at the Newport Folk Festival on July 25, 1965, Bob Dylan faced a wave of criticism from the folk music community. Just 4 days later, on July 29, 1965, he responded through his art, recording the song Positively 4th Street. The lyrics of this song are saturated with themes of revenge and mistrust, leading many to interpret it as the music artist's retort to his critics and a dismissive gesture towards past associates from the New York City folk scene, where he had frequently performed along West 4th Street. The track opens with a piercing line, "You got a lot of nerve to say you are my friend," setting the tone for a scathing critique of false companionship. As the song progresses, the music artist levels accusations of hypocrisy and betrayal, painting a picture of a cutthroat industry filled with individuals eager to climb the ladder of success at the expense of others. Lines like, "I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes," and "when you know she's right where she belongs, I wish you were there," to further illustrate the depth of the music artist's disillusionment and resentment. While Positively 4th Street never explicitly mentions the backlash Dylan received at Newport, its themes align closely with the music artist's feelings during this period. According to those close to him, the music artist was deeply hurt by the criticisms thrown his way, feeling betrayed by fellow musicians who failed to understand his artistic evolution. Thus, this song can be seen as both a personal catharsis and a public statement, marking a clear divide between the music artist's past and future. This classic tune would go on to become one of Dylan's most successful singles, reaching number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Its raw emotion and biting wit continue to resonate today, serving as a testament to the music artist's resilience in the face of adversity. Even half a century later, these powerful verses remain a fascinating glimpse into the mind of an iconic musician weathering a storm of controversy. Consequently, on July 29, 1966, a notable event took place in the life of the music artist when he crashed his Triumph Tiger 100 motorcycle near his home in Woodstock, New York. The accident led him to claim that he had broken several vertebrae in his neck. However, the details surrounding the crash have never been fully clarified. It is peculiar that no ambulance was called to the scene, and he was not hospitalized afterward. This absence of immediate medical assistance has fueled speculation, and various theories about what really happened that day. The incident marked a pivotal moment in his life, influencing his music and public persona in the years that followed. In the mid-1960s, the music artist Bob Dylan found himself under immense pressure due to his skyrocketing fame. His groundbreaking fusion of folk and rock music had captured the hearts of millions worldwide, leading to relentless tours and media appearances. However, everything came to a halt when Dylan met with a serious motorcycle accident in 1966. This life-altering event offered Dylan an unexpected respite from the demanding limelight. As he took time off to recover, he shifted his focus towards more personal pursuits. One such project involved collaborating with acclaimed documentarian D.A. Pennebaker on a film capturing Dylan's iconic 1966 concert tour. The music artist dedicated considerable energy to refining and shaping this cinematic chronicle. Unfortunately, the first edit proved too unconventional for mainstream audiences, resulting in its dismissal by ABC television. This setback didn't deter Dylan, though. Determined to share his vision, he persisted in revising the documentary until it accurately conveyed the essence of his revolutionary performances. In 1967, after stepping away from the public eye, the music artist Bob Dylan began recording music in the secluded setting of his Woodstock home. Alongside him was a group of musicians known as the Hawks, who would later become the band. Together, they created over 100 songs in the basement of Big Pink, a nearby residence. These recordings were initially meant to serve as demos for other artists to record, but some of them gained popularity when covered by notable acts like Julie Driscoll, The Byrds, and Manfred Mann. Columbia Records eventually compiled and published a collection of these tracks in 1975 under the title The Basement Tapes. However, numerous other recordings from this prolific period remained unheard by the general public for decades. Finally, in 2014, these previously unreleased gems saw the light of day as The Basement Tapes Complete, offering fans a more comprehensive look into this creative chapter of Bob Dylan's career. After a break from studio recordings, the music artist Bob Dylan returned to Nashville in later 1967. This comeback marked a significant shift in his sound and lyrical content. In this session, he worked alongside skilled musicians including Charlie McCoy on bass, Kenny Buckley on drums, and Pete Drake on steel guitar. Their collaboration resulted in the creation of the album John Wesley Harding. This masterpiece stood out due to its compact compositions centered around themes inspired by the American West and biblical stories. Compared to Dylan's previous works, it boasted minimalist musical arrangements, allowing more focus on poignant storytelling through lyricism. Notably, this album introduced one of Dylan's most famous tunes, All Along the Watchtower, which would later be covered by Jimi Hendrix. John Wesley Harding served as a testament to the musician's deep immersion into the study of Judeo-Christian traditions. Its tracks echoed with profound explorations of faith, morality, and human nature, setting it apart even among Dylan's rich discography. In October 1967, the music world suffered a great loss with the passing of folk legend Woody Guthrie. This artist had been a significant influence and mentor to another musician who would go on to become equally iconic, Bob Dylan. Nearly 20 months after Guthrie's death, Dylan chose to make his first live appearance at a memorial concert held at New York City's prestigious Carnegie Hall. The event took place on January 20, 1968, and saw Dylan take the stage again after an extended hiatus. He wasn't alone, though. Joining him were members of what would soon become one of rock's most celebrated groups, The Band. Made up of Robbie Robertson, Rick Danko, Richard Manuel, Garth Hudson, and Levon Helm, they provided backing for Dylan during this emotional tribute. This memorable night marked a pivotal moment in both Dylan's career and the evolution of American roots music. It also underscored the profound impact that Woody Guthrie had on shaping this genre and inspiring future generations of musicians, including Dylan himself. As we look back at this historic evening, it serves as a testament to the enduring power of musical influences and the lasting legacy left behind by true pioneers like Guthrie. After the release of his experimental album John Wesley Harding, Bob Dylan took another artistic turn with his next work, Nashville Skyline. This time, the musician collaborated with several talented Nashville musicians, resulting in a distinctly softer sound compared to his previous records. Critics and fans alike were taken aback by Dylan's transformed vocal style, smooth, gentle, and boasting an added octave to his range. According to Variety magazine, Dylan had indeed expanded his abilities, embracing what could genuinely be described as singing. The The album features a memorable duet between Dylan and country music legend Johnny Cash titled Girl from the North Country. Additionally, Nashville Skyline includes one of Dylan's most popular hits, Lay Lady Lay, which gained considerable traction among listeners upon its release. Despite these appealing tracks, some critics expressed reservations regarding the uncharacteristic simplicity of the lyrics found throughout the record. Nevertheless, Nashville Skyline remains a beloved addition to Dylan's extensive discography. This unexpected shift in direction surprised many followers who had grown accustomed to the more raw and intense delivery of earlier works like Highway 61 Revisited and Blonde on Blonde. However, this change also allowed Dylan to reach broader audiences unfamiliar with his prior material, further solidifying his status as an influential figure in contemporary music. Ultimately, Nashville Skyline stands out as yet another testament to Bob Dylan's willingness to explore diverse musical styles and push creative boundaries. In May 1969, music artist Bob Dylan made a significant television appearance on the debut episode of Johnny Cash's variety show. Together, they graced the stage with a heartfelt rendition of Dylan's Girl from the North Country. Additionally, the audience was treated to solo performances by Dylan, who delivered captivating versions of Living the Blues and I Threw It All Away during the program. Months later, in August, Bob Dylan crossed the ocean to take part in the Isle of Wight Festival in England. Having turned down offers to perform at the nearby Woodstock Festival, Dylan's highly anticipated appearance on August 31st became a focal point of the event for many festivalgoers. This classic performance further solidified his status among fans and fellow musicians alike, contributing to his enduring legacy in the realms of folk and rock music. His ability to resonate with audiences transcends time, making each step in his career intriguing and impactful. In March 2020, the music artist Bob Dylan released a remarkable 17-minute track titled Murder Most Foul on his YouTube channel. This lengthy ballad explores a significant event in American history, the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Through its poignant lyrics and haunting melody, it offers a unique perspective on this devastating moment. The song swiftly ascended to the summit of the Billboard Rock Digital Song Sales chart, becoming the first #1 hit for Bob Dylan on a mainstream pop chart under his own name. This achievement underscores the timeless appeal of his music and his ability to connect with audiences across generations. Murder Most Foul stands out even amidst the rich tapestry of Bob Dylan's discography. Known for his provocative lyrics and profound storytelling, he has consistently pushed boundaries throughout his career. With this latest release, he demonstrates once again why he remains one of the most influential figures in contemporary music. This captivating piece invites listeners into a contemplative journey through time, exploring themes of loss, grief, and reflection. Its success serves as a testament to the power of music to resonate deeply with people, leaving an indelible mark on their hearts and minds. After a long wait of 8 years, the music artist known as Bob Dylan made a triumphant return to the recording studio. In 2020, he released 3 new songs, including I Contain Multitudes and False Prophet, which were met with widespread acclaim. These tracks served as a prelude to something even bigger, a forthcoming double album. On June 19, 2020, Dylan dropped his latest masterpiece, Rough and Rowdy Ways. This marked the musician's 39th studio album and his first collection of original material since 2012's Tempest. Fans around the globe rejoiced as they eagerly consumed each track, savoring every lyric and melody. Critics also had high praise for Rough and Rowdy Ways, bestowing it with glowing reviews. Many noted how the album harkened back to Dylan's earlier work while still sounding fresh and innovative. With its rich tapestry of sounds, Rough and Rowdy Ways proved that the legendary musician remained at the top of his game. The impact of this release was swift and significant. Within its first week, Rough and Rowdy Ways claimed the #1 spot on the prestigious UK album chart. At 79 years old, Dylan became the oldest artist ever to achieve this feat, further solidifying his place in music history. This achievement speaks volumes about the timeless appeal of Bob Dylan's artistry. His ability to continuously evolve and reinvent himself has endeared him to generations of fans. And now, with Rough and Rowdy Ways, he continues to captivate audiences worldwide, leaving behind a legacy that will resonate for decades to come. In December 2020, the music artist known as Bob Dylan created waves in the industry by selling his entire song catalog to Universal Music Publishing Group. This monumental sale included all rights and control of each song's copyright, making it one of the most significant deals in recent music history. While the exact figure remains undisclosed, sources estimate the sum to be over $300 million. The extensive collection encompasses some of the most influential songs of the past century, spanning genres from folk to rock and beyond. With hits like Blowin' in the Wind and The Times They Are A-Changin', Dylan's discography has left an indelible mark on popular culture. By selling his catalog, the musician ensures that future generations will continue to enjoy these timeless classics, while providing himself with financial security in his later years. Throughout his illustrious career, which began in the early 1960s, Dylan has consistently pushed boundaries and defied expectations. His thought-provoking lyrics often tackle social issues, earning him both critical acclaim and commercial success. Over the decades, his impact can be seen across various mediums, inspiring countless musicians, writers, and artists alike. This groundbreaking deal serves as a testament to the lasting power of music and its ability to resonate with audiences worldwide. For Dylan, it represents yet another chapter in an already impressive legacy, one built upon innovation, creativity, and dedication to his craft. And though specific details surrounding the agreement remain private, there is no denying the significance of this milestone for both the artist and the wider musical community. In May 2021, music artist Bob Dylan turned 80 years old, marking a significant milestone in his life and career. To celebrate this occasion, a virtual conference named Dylan at 80 took place, bringing together scholars, journalists, and musicians who have been influenced by his work over the decades. This online event featured various sessions dedicated to exploring different aspects of Dylan's artistry and impact on popular culture. Throughout his lengthy and prolific career, Bob Dylan has consistently pushed boundaries and challenged conventions within the realms of folk, rock, and blues music. His ability to weave intricate narratives through song has captivated audiences since the early 1960s, when he first emerged onto the Greenwich Village scene. Over the years, he has released numerous studio albums, each one showcasing his versatility and growth as an artist. As part of the celebrations surrounding Dylan's 80th birthday, several new biographies and scholarly studies focusing on his life and work were published. These publications offer fresh insights into the musician's creative process, political activism, and influences, further enriching our understanding of this classic American troubadour. Some of these works delve into previously unexplored corners of Dylan's discography, while others examine his influence on subsequent generations of artists across multiple genres. In addition to these written tributes, many contemporary musicians have cited Dylan as a source of inspiration for their own artistic pursuits. His knack for storytelling and poetic lyrics continues to resonate with both fans and fellow performers alike, ensuring that his legacy will endure for years to come. As we reflect on the contributions of this legendary figure, it becomes clear that his impact extends far beyond the realm of music, influencing literature, film, and visual arts as well. Indeed, Bob Dylan's 80th birthday serves as a reminder of the lasting impression he has made on popular culture throughout his storied career. Through his timeless songs and continuous evolution as an artist, he has left an indelible mark on successive generations, inspiring countless individuals to explore their own creativity and push boundaries within their respective fields. In July 2021, a memorable event took place for music enthusiasts when the legendary musician Bob Dylan performed a captivating 50-minute set titled Shadow Kingdom, the early songs of Bob Dylan. This special show was streamed live on a popular digital platform, allowing fans from all over the globe to tune in and enjoy the concert from the comfort of their homes. The focus of the concert was on the music artist's early songs, taking audiences on a nostalgic journey through his timeless discography. With his distinctive voice and masterful guitar playing, he delivered an unforgettable performance filled with emotion and artistry. Fans were treated to a selection of classics spanning several decades, each one evoking memories and leaving viewers reminiscing about days gone by. As expected, the reaction to the Shadow Kingdom show was overwhelmingly positive. Viewers praised the music artist for his exceptional musicianship and ability to transport them back in time with every note played. Social media platforms exploded with excitement during and after the concert, further fueling anticipation among fans who couldn't wait to relive the experience. Fast forward to June 2023, almost 2 years since the original live stream event, when the official soundtrack for Shadow Kingdom, the early songs of Bob Dylan, was finally released. Music lovers everywhere rejoiced upon hearing the news, eager to add this piece of musical history to their collections. Featuring pristine audio quality and carefully curated track listing, the album serves as both a tribute to the music artist's illustrious career and a testament to the enduring power of his songwriting. Now available across various streaming platforms and physical formats, the Shadow Kingdom soundtrack has become a must-have addition for any self-respecting fan of this classic singer-songwriter. Whether enjoyed as background ambience or savored during quiet moments of introspection, these timeless melodies continue to resonate deeply with listeners around the world. Moreover, in September 2021, the music artist released Springtime in New York, the bootleg series Vol. 16, which includes a treasure trove of materials such as rehearsals, live recordings, outtakes, and alternative takes from various albums. This collection provides fans with a deeper insight into the creative process behind his music. Following that, in July 2022, a unique recording of the music artist's song Blowin' in the Wind was auctioned for a substantial sum. This particular recording utilized a new medium called Ionic Original, showcasing an innovative approach to preserving and presenting music. The combination of these releases highlights the artist's ongoing relevance and the evolving nature of music preservation. In November 2022, the music artist Bob Dylan published a book titled The Philosophy of Modern Song. This publication features 66 essays on songs by other artists, showcasing the music artist's unique perspective and engaging content. The book received critical acclaim for its eclectic take on modern music. Following the release of his book, Bob Dylan announced the launch of the bootleg series Vol. 17 Fragments, Time Out of Mind Sessions. The series, which started in 1991, offers fans a behind-the-scenes look at the music artist's creative process. This latest edition features previously unreleased outtakes and live performances, as well as a remix of the 1997 album Time Out of Mind. The series is available in multiple formats, giving fans a chance to delve deeper into the music artist's discography. The bootleg series Vol. 17 Fragments, Time Out of Mind Sessions was released on January 27, 2023. The series is a testament to the music artist's enduring influence on the music industry and his dedication to his craft. Fans of Bob Dylan are sure to appreciate this latest addition to his extensive discography.